Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Random, to talk about two new video games that came out that I picked up and whatnot. I covered one of them a little bit before, but since I've played a little bit more of it, I can sort of give it a rough review for you. With these two games, no, I'm not going to be comparing the two. I'm not saying that, oh, one is better than the other, because since these two games are from two different genres and styles, it seems kind of pointless to compare them and so forth. We're going to start with Rockstar's LA Noire. Now, when I first heard of this game, I thought to myself, oh, GTA set during, the film noir age. Actually, it's more like Phoenix Wright in a sandbox game. I have to say, I'm very surprised by this game. I mean, I was not expecting half of what shows up in this. I mean, it does get a little bit repetitive in the case of you have to walk around to find clues and the way you interrogate people. It does get a little bit repetitive, but for what it's worth, this is probably what would happen if you took a point-and-click adventure and put it in the third dimension and made it a sandbox. So I have to commend Rockstar for that. The game uses this brand new motion capture face technology, which didn't make a lot of sense to me to begin with, because it's like, what's the point? But, I mean, me and my brother were staring at it. It's like, yeah, it does look fair, doesn't it, dude? Yeah, he's nodding his head. You can't see him, he's nodding his head. Yeah, I mean, very impressive technology, but I'd argue, in a game like this, when you're constantly seeing the back of your main character's head, what's the point? I did pan the game a little bit when I first talked about it due to the ridiculously amount of cutscene length, but the more I got into it, they kind of became less frequent, and it helps carry the story, so I have to take that comment back. Yeah, I'm actually on to the second disc so far, just to let you know how far I'm into the game. Really enjoying it, and I was thinking of selling this to get Mortal Kombat, but Midway, you can go fuck yourselves. Oh wait, is it Midway or is it Warner Brothers now? No, I don't think... Oh yes, sorry, caught myself, because I know Midway don't really have an involvement anymore. It's that NetherRealms and Warner Brothers. So yeah, Warner Brothers, fuck you. Hey, I caught myself there. So yeah, I'm going to keep holding to this one. I think it's got a lot of replay value. I know people say you can't really get much replay value out of this, but I beg to differ. I can imagine myself playing this a couple more times. It's controversy time!
Oh boy.
Now, as you know, I like to go against popular opinion. I like to be my own mind and stand out from the crowd. I mean, hell, I love Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, I love Plan 9 from Outer Space, I love Jet Set Radio, and once again I find myself going against public opinion. Of course, I'm talking about Duke Nukem Forever. And before we go any further, yes, it took 11 years to make. Ha 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 ha. Moving on, because now that I have this in my hand, I don't think those jokes hold any water anymore. I mean, now you can still make them if you want. It's kind of pointless, but... Now, I want to address the controversy about this game before I talk about its details. The things I've been hearing about this game, stuff like, oh, it's misogynistic, it's perverted, it's immoral, it's degrading, and it's this, and this, and it's not the game it should be, blah, 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 blah. I want you to take a look at this character's name. Duke Nukem. What did you expect to see? He's a misogynistic wanker. Yeah. You're surprised the game is misogynistic. I mean, what'd you expect? Him to come out quoting Shakespeare? And riding a unicycle? No, bollocks. It pretty much does what it says on the tin. This is a game about a guy who's very misogynistic, he's woman-obsessed. Like Johnny Bravo, he had a fucking spine. And that doesn't bother me because that's staying true to who he is. There have been plenty of times in video game history where we've seen shit like this, and nobody bats an eyelid. Now, people keep saying, why'd you love this game? It's a GTA clone. Well, because it's fucking funny, that's why I love it. Same reason I like this game, because they're both fucking hilarious. So everyone's saying, oh, it's misogynistic, it's just staying true to who the character is. I mean, if Duke Nukem was a French mime and he spent the whole game doing this, it's just staying true to who he is, And other things like the grossness, everything, it's saying it's like 12-year-old humor. Well, the characters, it took about 11 to 12 years to make, so you're surprised he hasn't got with the times. Now, controversy over, now we're going to talk about other things. First of all, I'm going to deal with my one and only complaint with this game. The load times. I swear to God, this game... Alright, I'll give you an example, right? Say you start up a mission, or you start up a stage, you're playing along, and suddenly you fall off a ledge and you die. It's not really your fault, you misstep and you die. You have to wait like a full 30 seconds to try again. Or imagine you're fighting a boss. It's just these fucking load times are ridiculous. I mean, I swear to God, we have a new champion on our hands.
Oh no, he didn't!
Shut up. It's just, really, I mean, alright, I'm going to bring up the 11 years. I mean, you had 11 years to make this fucking game and you couldn't fix the load times? Seriously? I swear that's the only complaint I have. I mean, the shooting, it's fine. Stage environment, it's fine. I don't understand what the hate is about. I mean, I went into this game with an open mind. I've never played a Duke Nukem game before. I wasn't going to compare it to Call of Duty or Halo, which is what I suspect a lot of reviewers are doing. But I don't understand what the hate is about. You know? Now onto some nitpicks I've got with it. Now I know I said I think it's funny, because the game does have some funny moments, and the character... I find the character very funny. But I got two minor nitpicks with it, in terms of how everything goes about. First of all, it does references, but they're really fucking out of date. I mean, just to give you spoilers or anything, there's a scenario where you're on a TV, like, late night talk show, you go backstage and there's a guy ranting and raving like Christian Bale. You sort of look at it and think, wait, how old is that joke now? Yeah, 1 second. When did Christian Bale do that rant again? Was that 2009?
Yeah.
About 2009, I mean, I know Duke's trying to catch up, he's been away for a while, but dude, if the joke's out of date, don't fucking use it. And the other one is, they had to reference Leroy Jenkins. It's just... I haven't beaten the whole game yet. I can imagine that Snape Kills Dumbledore is going to show up at some point. Or all your base are belong to us, knowing this game's alive. And the other nitpick I've got with it, again now, for those of you who are Duke Nukem fans, you can tell me if this happens in the old series or whatnot. When the game begins, pretty much everyone is wanking off Duke Nukem. Like, oh Duke, you're so awesome! Oh Duke, you're amazing! Duke, can I have your autographs? And to start with, I was thinking, hey, this is kind of cool. 5 minutes later, I was saying to myself, oh god, we get it! He's Duke Nukem! He's awesome! He is the pinnacle of manliness! Can we shut up about it, please? Thankfully, as you get near the halfway mark, it kind of stops, so... Like I said, it's not really a complaint, it's just a minor nitpick. And the twins you see at the beginning, I hope I'm not spoiling this for anybody, but I took one look at them and said to myself, yeah, these two are going to die, and... you know, I wasn't really surprised when it happened, to be honest. I hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody there. But, yeah, I mean... There does seem like a lot of influences from things like Aliens, Halo... Maybe a little bit of Time Splitters in there, because I think that Duke Nukem's a more crass version of Sergeant Cortez from Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect. But, yeah, I mean, it's immature, it's childish, it's early South Park kind of humor, but if that's your cup of tea, then go for it. But out of the two of them, right, if you wanted my opinion of out of these two, which is worth the time more? It's not really comparing them on their styles, but if you want to know which I think out of the two of them you'll probably be playing a lot more of from the days that gone by, probably LA Noire, because there's just so much there, and hell, even my brother doesn't like these sort of games, he's thinking about playing it, so...
It's one of those ones, it really makes you think.
Yeah, it's like Phoenix Wright for adults, and that's what I dig, so... You know, but if you love, you know, Captain Misogynist here, then I'm not going to stop you. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, if we spent our time listening to online critics, we wouldn't experience things for ourselves. I mean, I don't discredit Roger Ebert, but, you know, he said Revenge of the Fallen sucks. I'm like, fuck you, I think it's great. Anyway, out of the two of them, I would say LA Noire, #1 choice, but if detectives and driving back and forth question is not your cup of tea, then get Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah, it's 11 years late. It should have been out, in my opinion, should have been out 2009 or 2008. That would have been a better release date for it because of the jokes. It would have made you laugh, but now, when you see the Christian Bale joke, I didn't really laugh. I sort of went...
Oh dear.
It's like you go to a friend's wedding and your dad's trying to be hip and cool with the younger people and you're like, Dad! Anyway, That's enough of me rambling. Dinner's getting cold. I am Random. Good night, and butterscotch.